Hi, this is Bob with the Easy Estimator. This is part two of doing takeoffs. I want to show you how we do the takeoffs once we get the design done. If you haven't seen part one, go back to part one on takeoffs and we'll show you how to do a design and get a plan for the 600 square foot ADU. One of the things I'm showing you here in front is the actual takeoff that the program Chief Architect Design Suites has their own material takeoff. It's very, very detailed, more than I want to use. I do my own takeoffs. They've even got down to the hinges on your cabinet. And I don't think you're going to need that uh, unless you're a cabinet maker and you want to count your hinges. I'd rather just buy the cabinets with the hinges on there. But that's one of the things that I wanted to show you till we get on to the next one, which is going to be the design that I did for the ADU. And I'm going to show you uh, what the takeoffs I did off of there. I took the liberty of doing a takeoff on it already, just to show you the perimeter walls were 100 lineal feet. That's 20 feet plus 30 feet plus 20 by 30. Very simple. That's going to give you your framing, at least for the exterior, the stucco for the exterior, the drywall for the inside of the perimeter walls. Also, it'll give you the paint uh, as well as the drywall, and then you got to count the interior framing also to get the rest of it. But what I've done is I've gone through the perimeter walls 100 lineal feet, the interior walls is 60 lineal feet, and of course, because this is an 8-foot ceiling, you got to multiply by 8. I've got the floor area, which is a 600 square foot ADU. Ceiling area is the same. The wall area is actually 220 lineal feet, with the wall square footage is 1760. Cabinets are 20 lineal feet. Exterior walls are 1,000 square feet. We always count the exterior walls, which is 100 times the height is 10 feet. Uh, so I took the liberty of doing the takeoffs and I put it on there for you. You can measure yourself. We're going to go ahead and watch the video on how I do the takeoffs with the takeoff sheet. Now, this takeoff sheet, if you make a comment that you'd like that, just send me your email. I'll go ahead and send you the takeoff sheet. This is one that we created and we've been using for years, and it'll allow you to see what items are needed. It's better to do a takeoff so you won't forget anything. And this is very easy to do once you have the design. And that design I showed you how to do in the previous video. First thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out what the footing is. The footing is a perimeter, which is 100 lineal feet. Sometimes I add another 20 feet in there because it depends on the engineer whether he's going to add that in there. Uh, I'm going to basically, for this size, I'm just going to do a standard 100 lineal feet footing. Uh, and then we're going to go to the foundation slab. So the next thing we're going to do is a slab. We have a 600 square foot ADU, so we're going to fill in 600 square foot for the slab. It's usually about 5.5 inches of concrete and sand with a vapor barrier in there. So this is for the foundation area. As we go down, we're going to go past down to the, I believe we're going to go down to the flat work, which is actually just the landing. And I always put a minimum 100 square feet for the landing because you're not going to get it done any cheaper than that, because there's a minimum amount that you have to do just for the landing if you do that separately. If you pour it all together, then you can, do it for 35 square feet if you pour it all at once. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to frame the walls. And what I generally do is I do I frame the walls, including the sill plates. I multiply the lineal feet of the walls times 8. That'll give me the square footage. Now we went to the ceiling joist. We already know what that is. That's 600 square feet. After that, we go down to rafters. Rafters is usually double times the ceiling joist. So that's 1,200 square feet just because of the pitch of the roof. We know we have 4 windows, so we're going to frame 4 windows. How many doors are we going to frame? Well, if we look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, we've also got 4 doors. The next thing we're going to do is a beam. I usually put in a beam just because I know that there will be an area where we'll need it. So I put 60 lineal feet. I put 2 closets that we're going to frame for the bifold, and I also included 100 lineal feet of I'm sorry, it's 100 lineal feet of fascia, which is a perimeter. Then 1,200 square feet of roof sheeting on top of the rafters. We're going to go down. The next thing is shear wall, which is 1,000 square feet, which is 100 times 10. We know we have 8 fixtures. I count each fixture, which is one for a toilet, one for shower, one for sink, and then one for the kitchen sink. I think I've got too much in there. I think we only need one for the laundry. So we needed 5, so that was a mistake. I have one gas line, which is 80 lineal feet, a laundry supply, and we have a tankless water heater that we're installing. So the next thing we're going to do is electrical, rough electrical. So I'm going to note down based on the 612 rule. That means the first 6 feet of a room you need an outlet and 12 feet thereafter. So what I do is I count all the walls and I divide them by 12. All the surface, whether it be bathroom, kitchen, or anything. I do add additional because kitchen you have plugs every 2 feet on the countertop. So I add additional plugs for the kitchen. And that gives me a ballpark figure. I may be off a plug or 2, but that's okay. I counted 23 outlets. Then I count 1 switch for every room I walk into. So I've got a bathroom, I've got 2 bedrooms, I've got the living room, and then I've got an exterior. So I counted 6 switches. Next thing was be the ceiling light receptacles. I usually put a light receptacle in every room. So I've got 2 bedrooms, and I probably put 2 in the living room and maybe 1 extra in the kitchen. So I counted on the ceiling light receptacles 6 of them. I also have the GFIs on the interiors. That's usually for the kitchen countertops. Need to be on GFIs in the bathroom, and then we've got 1 exterior GFI, which would be in the front, and that's required by code. I put a service panel on ADUs, usually on detached ADUs. Majority of the time I put 100 amp service. I've also got smoke detectors, 1 in the hallway and 1 in each bedroom. That's 3. I have occupancy sensor, which is 1 in the bathroom. That would be 1. I've got 12 squares of roofing because there's 1,200 square feet of roof sheeting or rafters. So that'll account for 1 square is 100 square feet. So we got 12 squares of roofing. The walls, perimeter walls are 800 square feet, which would be R15, and the ceiling is 600 square feet of R35. There's no floor insulation because this is a slab-on-grade foundation. Next thing we're going to go is to the heating. Usually on ADUs, I've been bidding mini splits. So I put 1 mini split in each room. So this would end up with 3 mini splits. The next thing we're going to do is drywall. you need to count the surface areas of all walls. What I do is I count the perimeter as 100, then I count the long distance, which is 30, and 30 on each side. I end up with 2,360 square feet, including the lid, which is the ceiling area of drywall. The next thing is the paint is going to be the same thing, 2,360. You got to paint all the drywall that you put up. Next thing is usually the doors. I count as 40 square feet and 1/2 of the base molding. Because I figured the lineal feet of base, and you take half of that, which would be uh, which would be per foot. So if you count per lineal foot, you're going to count half of that, because usually 6-inch could be anywhere from 3 to 6-inch base, and that'll give you about the square footage of trim that you have to paint. Exterior trim, I count the perimeter, which would be 100 lineal feet, and my calculations are based on that. You can do any calculations that you want in the app. You just need to figure it out. Colony doors, I have 3 interior doors, 1 entry door. I have 2 wardrobe doors, and then I need 3 doorknobs for the 3 interior doors and 1 entry doorknob. Base molding came out to 220 lineal feet. That's the surface area. It'd be the same as the drywall, but you don't multiply by 8. You take the lineal foot. We're going to go down to finished carpentry, which we're going to finish up with a finished carpentry, which would be 20 lineal feet of closet length. That's probably about 8 foot, but I count 10 feet because of waste. We've also got 4 windows I've got to account for. Next thing is stucco lath, which is 1,000 square feet. We already figured that out as a perimeter, which is 100 times the height is 10, is 1,000. You got 100,000 square feet of stucco lath and 1,000 square feet of stucco. You need to get your sub pricing on that unless you do it yourself. There's going to be 1 vanity, and I have the pricing directly from Home Depot on my Easy Estimator app. So I'm bidding a specific item when I put that in there. I also have a bath faucet. That was also updated from Home Depot. I've also got the shower valve from Home Depot, the shower unit, which on this one I'm putting a unit in rather than tile, and that's directly from Home Depot. I've also got the shower door that has been updated directly from Home Depot. So I know my material pricing is accurate because the Easy Estimator app updates it every week with the current pricing. I've got, let me see, I think I've got all the bathroom items in there. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty. I still have to do the kitchen items. I give an allowance on cabinets because I don't know what the design is going to be. Bath exhaust fans. I need, let me see, ceramic. Well, I got ceramic tile flooring, 55 square feet. And I have 1 bath exhaust fan. I have a light bar, 1 light bar for the bathroom. And then we're going to bypass all the Whirlpool stuff, and we're going to go to the finished electrical. I've got 2 lights, one light for each room, 1 for each bedroom. Then I have a hall light. I also have recess lighting. I've put 1 in for each, and then 1 exterior light. Oh, I didn't put in recess. That's right. I didn't count that in there. I've got 3 smoke detectors, 1 for each bedroom. I did that twice. I have it further up on my takeout sheets. I got to correct that because I've already counted that in there. And then I've got 1 carbon monoxide. That's required by code now. Floor coverings, I included 550, which is 600 minus what I counted for the tile. So now we're getting into the kitchen, the final ones for the kitchen. We got 20 lineal feet of cabinets. Primarily what I do is I'm trying to get them a price and I give them an allowance. So if I figure they're worth 5,000 or 8,000, that's what I'm going to give them on there. Countertop, I put 30 lineal feet of countertop, one kitchen faucet, one kitchen sink, uh, one range hood, one disposal. Uh, Now we're done with the kitchen takeoff. So the last thing we're going to do is permits, plan, engineering, and dumping. So my calculations based on my app is I put 600 square feet for the project and it'll calculate an approximate amount of permits. But that's an allowance. So my customer knows if it goes over that, they have to pay the difference. Now you can set that up in the Easy Estimator app to show that on the detail line saying this your allowance is 600 is this amount. Anything above they would pay. I've also got 18 dumpsters in there, which I usually count 10 for every $10,000 I count a dumpster, and then I just maybe a little bit less than what it would charge. So this job is probably about a $220,000 job. So instead of 22 dumpsters, I just charged 18. So that's primarily how we do the takeoff. Uh, Now that you have your takeoff sheet, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to go to uh, the third part of the video and we're going to show you how to input it into the Easy Estimator app so you have a complete price. With the first video, which was about 15 minutes, and the second video, which is probably about 15 minutes, and the third video, which may be about in 45 minutes, you can have a complete bid for an ADU. And you don't need to take days. You don't need to sign a contract just for plans. You can go ahead and bid it and try to sign the contract for the whole ADU, the whole 225,000 or whatever it comes out to be. You don't have to try to sign a $10,000 contract for plans when you can get the whole piece of pie. All right, so stay tuned for the next video, part 3 on inputting it into the Easy Estimator app and coming up with a price. Thanks for watching my video.